time my mom showed up. One time my mom showed up looking for me. She's like, Thaddeus.
You're all up on the roof, like peering over, like, he's not here.
Hey, Mom. So what are you doing on the roof? I'm like, I just ate a bunch of shrooms. We're up here.
His physical form is here, but his mind is not present.
She's like, all right, mijo, I'll be back later. So, fucking absurd always, baby.
Always,
huh, Tomcat? We got
Forever.
so much history to go back on. It's going to be a good time for the future as we start to dive into having some podcasts coming out. You know, we don't know the schedule, how we're going to roll that, but we're just kicking shit off, you know, like we always do back in the day. We said fuck it and got started, right? So, it's going to be dope, you know. There's going to be a lot of stuff to come out. We have a lot of just different avenues that we can go down in the future, you know, as we talk about little teasers and stuff that'll be coming out in the future, interviews with other cats that were involved with us. You were saying, how big is that box of all the footy you got?
Yeah, we have a whole shoebox of Vans, slip-on shoebox full of old like high 8 and like mini DV tapes of like back in the day.
And that's like
from
going all the way
skating
back just from skating
just
to riding
bullshitting,
motorcycles
partying,
to
everything.
fucking parties to gang task force raiding us on like having crazy parties and shit.
Everybody remembers that. If you were there, you remember.
Yeah, it was in the, I mean, we'll have the article too to drop it up and to throw that out there, you know. That shit was wild. I still pull that up sometimes and look at it. I was looking at the
It was in the newspaper?
Yeah, it was in the newspaper. But there was like the warrant list sheet that had all the
like
list of all the different
the
drugs
police,
and all the fucking random weapons that were
God.
found. And it's like that had
all
nothing
the shit
to do
that
with
they
us.
like, but also it was funny
I
because
will
it was
never
like none
admit
of the
guilt.
shit that it was none of the shit that they thought they were gonna find. Like,
Right,
what is this cache
exactly.
for?
These guys are just fucking cool dudes, just fucking doing their thing, you know. But a lot of good time.
Night. But yeah, man, just bringing back everything to the forefront, man. Like, you know, it's not like we haven't stopped doing what we love and everything like that, but just kind of reintroducing how we've been and what we've been up to and what all like really the squad's been doing. And there's a lot of growth from there. A lot of young dudes that were in our squad and that are doing kind of their really own cool things right now. And
exactly, yeah. A lot of the guys getting into different stuff as everybody, you know, is having kids, getting married, getting divorced, whatever the fuck it may be, right? But and we've been focusing on the business here, you know, and doing the whole Phoenix Air thing. But that doesn't suppress everything else that we're into, you know. Yeah, man. So I'm excited to like bring all that stuff back and start really rolling that out. Because I feel like we've been quiet for many years, and now it's time to like pop that lid.
We've been kind of hush hush for sure, a little bit, you know.
Pop that lid and let motherfuckers know what we're about, you know.
Pringle box, you know. Once you pop, fun don't stop, baby. You know what I'm saying? So what's like what's something that like you're like kind of most excited about, and like what kind of wanted you to like revamp and just like start fresh with everything again, like
just I would say easily like the just cutthroat on that was just seeing a lot of this content come out nowadays on, you know, because that's just what it is. Everyone's on social media, you know, and like seeing the kids on like all the different, you know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the whole nine, you know. And then just seeing like a lot of like soft shit too, and a lot of like mixed information, like you're gonna make $1 million in 30 minutes and all this bullshit.
A lot of people out there that like are just putting stuff out that don't really have like a
it's just like
an
I feel
image,
like it's just
or
like cluttered
a
with a
clear
bunch
cut,
of bullshit.
like they kind of a lot of bullshit. See, as in like you think that a lot of companies are out there just kind of just back and forth, wishy washy in what they do, and they don't have any real conviction on what they're doing. Or like,
but that too. But also, it's like when I first got on Instagram or platforms like this, it was more about like, oh, check out this artwork or check out these skate videos,
right?
Or check out like something that somebody put some work into, you know, and actually like put something out versus just like doing like a little 5-second clip thinking that they're like fucking running the show, you know. So
basically,
it's like,
Instagram before it was monetized, like social media before it was like, oh, you can make money on here,
right?
What?
Right,
now
right.
It's this whole crazy platform,
you know,
so
and the money is the money, and that's why we stay focused on our business and what we do. But it's dope to do this stuff kind of things and get this stuff going, because then it just brings it back to the roots, the good memories, the good times, because life's fucking short, doggy.
Yeah.
And I know I say that a lot, you know, especially with a lot of the things that have gone on over the past, you know, 10, 15, 20 years. It's crazy because you think about like a little bit and then you start thinking about the years and you're like, oh shit, you know, because we were talking about it, what,
years.
2001 sounds about correct, like right when Absurd was getting started up.
2022 was like the early years of Absurd.
Or 2001.
Yeah, that's
2001,
right.
getting stuff popping, you know, skating. We were into graffiti, skateboarding, a lot of like street stuff.
Big skateboarding, like graffiti influences. I mean, you and I met at a random gas station on Bella Vista and Baseline.
Right.
When I was just skating around, and you're like, hey, what up, guys? Like,
yeah, for sure. Fucking definitely good times, you know. And then we did the whole Absurd thing for a long time, you know, and we were all involved. It was a whole team effort, you know what I mean?
Big time over the years, for
you
sure.
know, you guys and Travis and everybody and Dale, my brother, fucking everybody, the whole family, dog. Frankie, we were all there. We were all repping, doing our thing, and everybody was like doing their part. It was a good time.
Absolutely.
Those are good memories, you know?
Yeah,
and it's just something you don't want to let die, especially nowadays where it's like, now we can bring it back,
for sure. But
you know, it'll never die. But we can bring it back a little bit more. Have those conversations, have those stories, have some video to go with it because we have it.
Absolutely.
So why let it die?
Well, and I think that's perfect, man. Like that's a really good segue, and like I feel like that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish here right now. Is like we're starting with bringing up the past, going through good memories, remembering, kind of honoring those times, so that we can move into the future as like, hey, like this is our foundation, this is where we came from, this is where we are now, and this is where we're headed. So like,
and social media always paints a picture, and everybody online and everybody thinks that it's always going to be perfect, a straight line. Like
people care about a storyline, you know. People
got to know that that's not how real life is.
Yeah.
Like shit's going to happen. It's going to be up and down and up and down. But you can still fucking have a beautiful life and have all these good memories. Deal with the bad shit. Remember, laugh about some of it. There's been some crazy shit,
some wild shit,
stories that we've talked about for years that I think will be cool to come out in the future that people have never heard about. That it's just like now we can talk about it because you know we can't get charged for it anymore. You know, so it's like the charges can't stick, but you know we can talk about it a little bit.
Well,
you know,
there's
and just
a lot
remember
of
those
stuff
good
too that,
times.
you know, everybody. A lot of people that are involved with it too are gonna be like, oh damn, like I remember that story, but I didn't really know the full story, or like, you know, it'll be a good thing to go through all of that stuff. Like once we get that footage logged and just kind of start slowly introducing that back to everybody, like there's gonna be a big group of people that are gonna want to see that for sure.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that the other day. I was remembering, I was like, where are all these fucking tapes? Like I know we had tapes because we were always filming, and back in the day too, we had a high-end camera. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
But what were we rolling with?
It was a VX1000. So at that time, it was, you know, we had the
like
nice
the skate
lens
industry,
on it, the Century
we had the good lens on
it,
it,
the nice fisheye and everything.
Yeah. So we weren't out there rolling with like some bullshit. Like
we didn't have anybody.
It down.
We didn't have anybody behind the camera that was like setting white balance and doing all the right things. But I mean, it's like at the end of the day,
we got the raw footage and we got a lot of good shit we could work with.
So it's gonna be cool to go through that.
And it reminds me, one of the videos that pops up in my head is that New Year's Day skate video when you guys were in those bagged out tees, like those tall tees, and it was you and Franco.
Dude, the tall tee
era. Remember Franco was hitting the fucking...
For the fun of it?
Yeah, wasn't he hitting the fence?
Rail?
Kept hitting the fence. You guys were hitting that rail, but then you kept hitting the fence.
Smashing into the fence.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's going to be... Hopefully it's on those tapes.
It's there. It's got to be there somewhere, you know what I mean? So, and for those that don't know, a lot of people know, you know, Franco... You know, Frankie Ochoa, our brother. We all grew up together. You know what I mean?
Together all
Bless
the time.
his soul. You know, he passed away. You know, but
best big flips in the game.
Fucking motherfucker held it down. You know.
Oh yeah, always.
Been through it in and out, and that's a whole different story. We can get into another stuff, but you know, Franco forever. That'll be a part of our brand as well as we move forward, and that's why I was excited to like get the podcast going with Absurd Always, because it all ties in. Like this is a daily. Not a daily thing. This is our life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like this is how we're gonna live our life, you know, and Franco forever, fucking Absurd Always, like we're brothers, like it's just it's something so strong that I didn't want it to die off. You know? And it had to go about it the right way too. Like what makes sense. We don't want to just sell, you know, nothing against selling
all
product.
Of a sudden, here's you know, oh check it out, here's a new T-shirt or whatever. It's like obviously
keep things going, and I love that, and it's good to have stickers and product, and it's the creative process, and that's all fun too. But there's a lot more behind it too that a lot of people don't get to hear about, and that's what I'm excited about. Like today, now with like everything going on, we can get that shit popping and get that out there, you know.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean that's a cool thing about the brand itself is there's already a deep rooted like history.
History's there, yeah.
And also like I was saying, like we have an identity. We know what we are. We know what we like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's people do care about the roots of things. Like people are like, oh, anybody can start a brand, but like what is like the meaning behind your brand? Like,
yes,
oh cool, you just like all of a sudden had like a cool graphic idea and you put it on a t-shirt. Like sure, it's gonna sell, but like,
yeah,
are people gonna be passionate about your brand? Like they might think your logo is cool and might buy a t-shirt, but then they're gonna forget about you later.
What have you guys been
if
through?
They can
what
relate
did you sacrifice?
to you,
How much time did you put into
if they can relate
Where's
to
the
you,
fucking value?
If you're doing the cool shit that they like to do, if they see a piece of themselves within your brand, then they're gonna support it
if
way
they can
more.
relate, yeah.
And so that's why it's important to.
And we're relatable, regular ass
100%.
motherfuckers.
Everybody's dude. So many people skate. So many people are artists, musicians. You know,
Yeah.
riding motocross, riding BMX. Like obviously, that's the core of what we do.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of guys from our brand from then and just the homies.
And then even moving
doing
forward,
new shit
all the
now,
homies
too.
are golfing now.
Golfing,
you know,
having their own like
hunting,
home service brands, hunting.
You know, obviously
like,
I come from
everything.
a hunting family as well. You know, and you know, the Shedcast podcast is getting going with Dale's and
podcast,
his stuff.
yep.
And there'll be a lot of cool history there too with the family and just people locally and even out of state. We'll have a lot of people coming through that know us over the years. Like you said, there's a lot of history there, so we know a lot of people, a lot of heavy hitters. They don't have to be a heavy hitter to have an important story, but it's nice to share those stories.
Unique individuals that have cool stuff going on.
Yeah, to share that message too, because there's a lot of youngsters out there too that need to hear the facts.
Yeah.
That this ain't all fucking cupcakes and shit, and you
gotta
gotta
handle
put in
the truth.
Fucking work.
You can't handle it.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that's important also, you know? So, you know, yeah, we're not going to sit here and preach, you know what I mean? Because
back to the young heads.
They fucking kicked me out of the church last week. But, you know,
oh, man,
but at the end of the day, you know, like, we keep it real, you know?
Absolutely.
Keep it real. Good times, man. And, like, I'm thinking about even, remember when we had, what year did we move into the Absurd House in Tempe?
Damn, dude, that was
what
like...
year did we move into the first Absurd House that was in Mesa?
Ooh, that
because that was even a little bit more wild.
Yeah, it was split between the two.
Yeah, because there was
definitely some like more like parties over at the other house.
Hot rod trucks, fast cars. And then we started moving into motorcycles. You know, it was a transition. You know what I mean? You fucking started off on the skateboard. Next thing you know, we're doing X, Y, and
Z. You guys are doing
and
riding your motorcycles and all that.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
fucking riding.
I feel like that was
hot rodding.
2000 and what, like 10?
2010, yeah.
2010, 2013, somewhere around there.
Because I'm thinking like we mellowed down with Absurd in general.
Kind of stuff.
The dates, I know, we still got to outline the dates and kind of figure out all the details. Because I'm thinking around like 2015, maybe even 2014. Between, I would say 2013 and 2014 is where we really mellowed down on like what Absurd was doing. Anything, people were asking questions.
Yep.
And it was like, we're just like in a period where we're not doing anything right now. We're not saying we're like the doors are closed forever, but this is just what it is right now. Like
other things came up that like realistic, because I mean that's another thing too.
That's life.
That's life. But the thing is with that is really like the reality of it is a lot of people think that, oh, I'm just gonna start a brand and it's just gonna be this thing. It's like it's a lot of work, man. If you want like. Even if it's just a hobby, like you still have to dedicate a lot of time to make something worthwhile. You know, everyone has an idea and thinks it's just snap of the finger and, oh, it's so easy. But, like, and that was
it's
the
always
reality
like,
of it.
hey,
It's like,
you should do this. You should have done that.
You know, it's like we're growing up. You know what I mean? Like, you come into a part of your life where, like, hey, man, like, am I going to sit back and, like, just rest on what I'm doing now? Or am I going to grow as a human and as a man?
Right.
And, like, try and start a family, try and start things. It's like, hey, man, if I want a realistic chance of, like, continuing to do what I love, like, I need to knuckle down and actually make a realistic choice to start working harder towards some more realistic means of making money and everything.
And you get that when you came on with us, when you jumped into our industry, because it was like, hey, we're going to do what we have to do what we want to do, you know? And it's nice to finally start to just brush that surface where it's like we put in a lot of work doing what we have to do what we want to do, because we enjoy this stuff. You know, we're not sitting here doing this because we want to start up a business for this or make money off of this. This is just because it's just like I enjoy this. What we do. Sitting down here and actually having these conversations. It's the same thing we'll do without the mics and the fucking cameras, but now it's even better because we know so many people that came up in that area with us, that timeline, and it'll share the story even more and like really just I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's just real as fuck because there's so much fake shit out there these days. You know, all of a sudden they got a brand.
Everything's
and like, what
AI,
are you standing
man.
on? You know what I mean? Like stand on business. You know, yeah.
Yep.
And AI for
AB,
sure. You know?
artificial branding. You know.
Yeah.
Display. No, I feel. I definitely hear that.
That's some good shit.
What's
a good story though from
from back in the day?
just like
Which
if we were
one?
just like to jump into something. I know we're talking about intros and stuff and about what the future, because we're going to be doing a lot of these and bringing the different cats through, you know, and we might even have to some of the people that we bring on to get some of these episodes going.
Yeah.
We might have to have a meetup before that just to make sure we don't.
Like, hey, we want to tell the story, but
let's get the fade out of the way. Like, right? You got a problem? You want to scrap real quick, and then let's get back to business because we're homies. Because back in the day, it was easier like that. Like, if you have a problem, you just handle it real quick, and then you're good to go. Like, shit happens. It's not like I hate you and I'm gonna block you on Instagram and all that fake bullshit. You know what I mean?
You, dude.
But there's some homies that cross the line, and I mean that's a whole different story. But what I was trying to get back to was some of the crazy stories at the first Absurd House, though, not the second one.
The first one?
The second one, we know that those are fucking off the chain.
Well, I mean, I got
wild.
some, like, there's definitely some crazy ones, but, like, I mean, the one, there's two, and the
And by the way, you got to help me with this because my memory's bad, too, you know what I mean? I might have smoked a joint or two in my life, but what I'm saying is
smoked a joint or
the
two today, you know?
Mesa Absurd House, when we were living there with Austin.
Right. I mean, that was a dope
I'm just laughing
house.
because we had a good time there.
No, we had a good time there.
It was a fucking blast,
We always had a
right?
good
We
time.
were living. You know what I mean? We had we can go into all kinds of details. But
well, there's like from that house, there's three definite stories. One of them is like that stick out for sure. One of them is like, I'm not going to tell that one just because we both know why we're not going to tell that one.
Yeah.
But the other one
we can get into those later
is
because in the future we can use fake names and stuff like, you know, this guy
so and so got a little too wild and picked up a thing and threw it on another thing, and it was my thing and not the person they were attacking's thing. So anyway,
but some good stories.
So like one of the good stories is like, well, I got a good story and then a funny story. So like a good story was that we had that party where they were like filming some sort of music video for some rapper or something like that. And we had a bunch of people.
And that was like
Joseph. Oh, Joseph.
He was doing some stuff with some people making music, and they wanted to do a music video, and it was like an
extraterrestrial theme, like aliens or something
alien
like
theme
that.
with like giant joints and fucking alien heads.
We're at this party. We have a bunch of people at the house. I've got this alien mask on. I'm wearing a fucking like a Letterman jacket with a fat ass fake gold chain, and I got this fucking joint. There's no lie, it's those raw papers. It's like those foot long joints.
Yeah, I remember.
I got the photo. It's a photo, bro.
Photos.
Just like
We'll
look like some fucking crazy ass like boss ass gangster alien and shit. And that party was just sick, dude. Like
it was.
That was super fun.
It was.
But the other story that sticks out from there in my mind.
Before
I
cut you off to the next story
no,
too, so, like a lot of times I'm like, hey, you guys down to do this party and blah blah blah, and like, yeah, we'll do it and we'll set it up and we'll do it full time.
So we're not responsible for anything that happens.
That. And there might be a lot more people there than you think.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened every single fucking time, you know? But I mean, hey.
Which is crazy to think back then because like social media was
like,
around then, but it's not anything like it
wasn't
was
like
now.
that, yeah.
But for some reason, it's like, dude, if you
still held it down
out there, it's like the old adage of like parties, like, hey, you got a 30-pack, there's only going to be so many people. But if you all of a sudden there's a keg there, there's no fucking telling how many people are going to be at that party. All of us for some reason.
Here's the address, and that was it. There was no Instagram.
$5 a cup.
Yeah.
You know, talk shit, get hit.
Yeah. I don't have money on me.
Yeah.
Well, better go bar.
We don't have any beer on us, then sorry.
Not our fucking problem.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
But so the other
especially
story
when we started having some of the motorcycle clubs show up.
Oh,
and
that's
help
a whole
run that
other
shit.
fucking.
I know. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's
another.
That's another discussion for another podcast with some motorcycle motherfuckers that have come in here. But another funny ass story is it was my birthday, right?
Yeah.
And we were having a party.
And by the way, your birthday's coming up?
Yeah, my birthday's actually tomorrow, September 15th. About to turn fucking a young ripe 38 years old, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. Cheers.
Partying, cheers to that. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking A.
Hell yeah. Are the mics set up good? We doing good?
You heard that?
Just checking in, yeah.
Check. You just want to make sure we documented how old this motherfucker is over here, actually.
Yeah.
No, but so we're hanging out at the house. And with the way that was set up is we were all partying in the backyard. We had the pool, but then we had that long driveway that was like to the RV gate.
Yes.
And behind the RV gate was a basketball hoop, right?
Yeah.
So we were all hanging out back there, and everybody was parked in the driveway, so everybody was back to back to back. And
it was a big driveway too.
It was a long ass driveway.
Yeah.
So we're just partying, we're having a good time, and like Jaybird and I would always be out there like fucking around, shooting hoops on that basketball hoop and everything. And
which was nice to have that little fucking.
Yeah, we were just over there just messing around, shooting hoops or whatever. And we always had this joke. I would always be like, airmail, and shoot a far ass shot. Like, so if I switched it, I'd be like, oh, that's what's up, airmail. Yeah. So we're a little bit tipsy at this point. We had been partying. I'm like way across the other side of the backyard. I'm on the other side of the pool, and I just see the basketball. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And I see Jaybird over there kind of by the hoop, and I grab the basketball.
You like give you that look
I'm
like,
like, hey, Jaybird, airmail! And I fucking throw the basketball all the way across the fucking backyard. Completely airball the goddamn thing, right? It goes over the fence, but then it bounced right back over into the backyard, and we were all both like, what the fuck? What happened? What? So we're just hanging out, whatever, like didn't even think anything of it. We just laughed. You fucking idiot, you airballed it, right?
Oh,
so we're chilling.
Okay, keep going.
We're chilling. We're partying. We're hanging out. Whatever. Yeah. And then I swear it's like at least 30 minutes.
30 minutes later, yeah.
John Kelly comes in the house. Like, dude, somebody's windshield is just like straight busted, bro. Like, what? We go over outside, and it's Rosemary parked right there. The basketball literally spider webbed her front windshield, bro. Because
didn't she have that white car?
She had that white.
So Roseball had that white car, and there was her fucking windshield was shattered,
gone. Like the perfect imprint of the basketball. And I was like, dude, I just got like, I think I got like maybe $125 for my birthday that day too. And I was like, well, here you go. Here's the money to fix your fucking windshield.
She was all pissed off.
She was like, what the fuck, Tomcat? I'm like, what? Like, sorry. I mean, here's the money. At least it was my birthday and I had some money and I had to pull it. I mean, I didn't have no fucking money back then.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Fucking teaching skateboarding, fucking paying that. That shit was hilarious. Though.
That was pretty funny.
That's like definitely the funniest moment.
That was a funny.
There's a bunch of good times over there, dude. Shit was fun.
There was I'm thinking of another story. Yeah, I don't know if I should say it right now. I mean, that one we might have to save that one for later, But go for it. Dale can grab it for you.
Dale, you want to grab me one more Coors Light? Hell yeah. In the
the man fridge.
Yeah. The man fridge.
Yeah.
Don't grab the Heineken Zeros.
Dude, I was trying to think of what's another one there, dude? Like a Jaybird one there. Or we could skip straight to the other one. I mean,
yeah, skip straight to the other one. I mean,
there's a few ones
cool though too. With like just like real quick with like the skateboarding too, is because like Jaybird and I in that neighborhood, like 5 streets down around the back of the house.
In the Mesa one.
In the Mesa one, there was a fun ass little hill bomb.
Okay.
Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it. There was a fun ass little hill bomb back there where it wasn't anything to where like you were going super fast, but just to have like a little fun little spot in the back of the neighborhood to just bomb and go fast real quick. That was hella fun. And then we were right across from Westwood High School, and it was like a little front of there. So it was just a perfect little skate house. Yeah, it was definitely
kind of like a Mormon neighborhood where we were like, we were there. We were causing a little bit of ruckus.
Yeah, but nobody really ever
not too much because the house was a little bit bigger and we were kind of tucked and the pool was in the backyard. Yeah. But I mean, come on, we still fucking got.
We had
down,
to get that.
Dude.
Oh no, we got down. But that's the other thing too. I mean, the cops rolled up
plenty of times when they're like, "Hey, Thomas, fucking Thaddeus, whatever. Like, hey, we need to kick it out this time tonight." Like,
and that's the thing too. I guess that's like what you were talking about. Is like put some younger bucks on game and shit. Where it's like, dude, we partied our asses off. We fucking had a great time. We fucked around. Like we did definitely some shit where it's like, hey, the cops are here. Well, no shit, the cops are here. We were just doing this dumb shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's like when they showed up, it was like, all right, like whatever. Like yeah, we did that. We weren't trying to be like fucking, oh, I'm so sorry or whatever. But it's like
or disrespectful.
So like these kids, like there's so much shit nowadays.
That's something a lot of these kids need to learn.
Hops off on these guys. It's like, dude, like if you want to not get in trouble, you got to be like, hey man, yes, like all right, we're here, we're to shut it down instead of you being like, oh fuck you, like that's not gonna help anybody's situation, bro.
I mean, come on.
I'm trying to say whatever I gotta say to get these cops out of here. These kids these days are saying the dumbest shit to get them their fucking face put in the ground.
And I get it.
It's like
every situation is different. But if you give respect, you get respect. You know what I mean? And it doesn't always work that way.
That's the golden rule, though,
that's
too,
the way you should go
about it.
That's
the real shit.
Yeah. But when that other party happened, though, that we had at Self's house, where we had the pool.
That's a whole different story, though, dude. There was, like, straight up, like...
Yeah.
So many people, and that wasn't, like, some fucking cop.
No, they didn't knock on the door either.
That was helicopters, fucking squad...
Kick the door open.
SWAT over the fence. Yeah. Like, that was a fucking raid. That wasn't... that was a straight-up raid, because they thought we were a gang. It was literally... the Phoenix Gang Task Force.
Yeah, Mesa.
In Mesa.
Oh, Phoenix Gang
Force came to Mesa, and it was actually down the road.
And we got all.
We were hella confused too because bro, we're just over here playing music, like skating this pool.
We were doing
like
we had a
product.
bar going.
We had a bar,
chicks there, skating, graffiti. We're doing the whole thing. You know what I mean? It wasn't too bad.
It was a whole thing with the absurd
individual
sticker back
people
in the day.
doing their own things. We don't know what they have in their pockets, so that's not on us.
Well, bro, and that's
why no charges ever stuck. But you're right though. That was a motherfucking raid.
But that right there kind of like wraps into a really fucking cool story about like what absurd was, and how we operated.
Well, they had to try to put a bad name on us, but they couldn't.
The reason why they thought that is because when we started Absurd, that was before social media. So it was very much guerrilla marketing back then. Wheat paste, graffiti, people driving around town with their stickers. Everybody had that fucking Absurd sticker.
We're like, we're not going to see the sticker.
And that's
what
happened.
Instagram
Is like,
They're going to see it on a sign or something somewhere.
Well, and that's what it was too. It's like in the extreme sports world, whether it be fucking skateboarding, BMX, graffiti, all that kind of stuff. Like the people who support that are like wild out there characters. So that was the other thing too. Is all these people. Typical, there was certain people within our support community, they were getting pulled over by these cops for fucking, I got a bag on them. I got a bag. And this is back when weed wasn't legal.
Yeah.
So
that's
even,
right.
Which is not nobody fucking cares about a bag of weed anymore.
Right.
But back then these cops are pulling people over and like, we were young kids. We smoked weed. Like, so the fuck what, right? But that's the cops just started associating that. And they thought, so because they didn't have social media and they didn't have any really way of looking us up, we didn't really have a website.
Yeah.
They just thought we were a gang.
Yeah.
When it's like, that's not really what it was. And that's why they came so heavy on us that day. And then come to find out, it's not really what we thought it was. A group
of guys.
It's just like
not even
almost,
just guys, but it's a group of individuals that are into a bunch of cool shit. They're doing their thing. We're not trying to fucking do any of the wild shit. They don't think it's cool shit,
but we know it's cool shit.
Exactly. We were having a good time.
Well, it's just like super funny too, because it just reminds me of like fucking Scooby-Doo, where like they were so fucking hoodwinked. They thought they had like the bust of the decade, like we've got this gang, and they rallied the troops, and then they come to find out we're just like some kids having fun, not really doing anything that malicious. And
right,
like, fuck.
Right, and the whole case
God
dropped.
damn it, and then the whole case dropped.
People got fired and shit.
They thought they were gonna have some RICO shit going on. It's like, no, dude, we're just like some young kids that have a fucking brand, and we're having a good time, and you guys are just fucking squares.
You know what that also says too is that we're good about guerrilla marketing or getting out the word of what we're doing.
The best free advertising. Are you serious?
Nowadays, it makes it a lot easier.
It's not free if you get caught.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, that was some good times. But I'm just thinking about that house right now. Yeah, the Mesa one.
Well, that one was way more mellow than the fucking some crazy shit that happened at the other one.
Let's
in Tempe.
skip to Tempe real quick and just maybe have a little
highlights on
Tempe.
You wanted to talk about the one incident. Because there was two incidents where I was home by myself and had people enter the home
before you go into that,
hold on.
Before you go into that, let's talk about this house though, because
this little 900 square foot fucking shanty
let's
over in fucking.
Well, we can get a picture of it and we'll put that up too.
Yeah.
But this was the Absurd house for
this fucking
years.
Sign right here, just hanging in the window.
Yeah, same motherfucking sign.
Right in the front window.
Was there?
Yep.
This motherfucker came overseas on a goddamn boat. It did, from China or some shit.
China.
I remember we ordered it. It took like
from China.
It didn't bring the virus, but this motherfucker came on a boat. Fucking, I don't know how many months it took, but we finally got it. When we got that motherfucker, we just brushed the dirt.
We just brushed the bird flu off of it when it got here. We're like, "Hey, get out of here, bro. It's fine."
Right? But I remember when we fucking clicked that little fucking thing, we were like, I felt like we put it in the window, we clicked it, boom, and we were like, we looked at each other, probably like, we're like, it's fucking on.
Fuck yeah.
Good times for sure.
Well, if we want to get into that one story
but the house,
that you wanted to talk about.
My mom lived in that fucking house before we moved into it. That's what I wanted to bring up.
No shit. I forgot. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. My mom and who else lived there?
Was it Lil David at the time?
Franco.
Franco
and my mom lived in that house. Right, this small little fucking house. What'd you say it was? 900 square feet?
It was a little 900 square foot,
right there on Fish Street.
3-bedroom, 1 bath, and the 1 bedroom was not even necessarily a bedroom. It was more like a block,
like a closet,
Arizona room. Yeah, well, it didn't have a closet, so I guess you could consider it a closet. But it didn't have, like, when we moved in, like, Southwest Gas, like, tagged off the fucking, like, wall heater that was there because, like, they're like, you can't even, this thing is, like, ancient. You can't use this. Like, you got to have someone come certify it.
Well,
like,
that house
was
just built in what? I mean, that house had
it was had to have been,
rebuilt.
like, 50s,
in
I
the
think?
50s. That house was built in the 50s. We're talking about a tiny little fucking house in Tempe where half of Tempe's been torn down now and rebuilt. But this fucking house...
It's still there. It got remodeled.
No, I know, but remodeled
there's actually
barely,
an air conditioning on it now. They used to just have a
so
swamp
when we
cooler
did move in there,
and window units.
There was no AC.
Nope.
Ain't
swamp
that
cooler.
fucking ironic?
Swamp cooler.
Yeah.
In like the 2010s.
Yeah.
No AC.
God damn.
But the backyard was sick, dude. It was long, a big old backyard, and like we were like literally we could throw a rock and hit Mill Avenue.
Yeah.
And it was like perfect at that time.
Fires back there.
Oh, it's a bonfire.
Dumpster was on fire.
Well, yeah, because the whole fucking backyard was full of weeds, and we wanted to have a party, so we fucking
fire.
gathered up the homies and fucking raked it all up into one giant pile. And like, what are we gonna do with it now? Like, let's light this bitch on fire. Fuck it.
So my mom moved out of that place. My mom, my brother, and then basically we took over. We moved in, right?
I mean, I think that it was just like it wasn't like we took over for them. Like it just happened to be like on the market again.
Okay,
and like
so
you're like, oh fuck, it was either you. I think it was you or Jaybird that like, hey, this house. Or I think it was you because you're like, yo, my mom used to live in this house. It's for rent.
Yeah,
and that was when we needed to get out of Austin's place.
We had to get out of Mesa. And we were like, we need to get into Tempe anyways.
And we didn't,
like we're in the wrong neighborhood.
Obviously, it wasn't anything, not even close to fancy.
No, because we went from the Mesa place had a pool, like we had bar, like it was like
it was nice,
a little bit more high
stainless steel appliances, whatever.
Yeah, which was cool. Like, but then we were like, fuck it, let's go.
Okay, we're here. Yeah. Whatever. This is cheap. This is like really the idea was just like a nice little landing spot for us for a minute.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like
in a good location.
You guys left. I lived there with a handful of other motherfuckers too.
Yeah. But before we left, a lot of shit went down because we were there for what?
I mean,
together,
we were there for,
the three of us for at least over
like 2.5 years.
2.5 years, yeah. Fucking A.
I was there for close to 4. After that, yeah. I fucking.
Because I remember that's when we were.
That was when you could rent a 3-bedroom place.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it was a piece of shit. It was $900 a month.
What were we paying?
$900 a month between 3 guys.
That's fucking.
So $300 a month. We were not paying shit.
Exactly.
So,
motherfuckers
I mean,
need
it was
a
perfect
boat for the right people out there, right? We're getting fucked because we had some fucking good rent.
But if we want to get to a crazy story that was in that one, so you had mentioned it and I completely fucking forgot about it. So, First off, we'll start with I had this dog. His name was Duke, and like I loved the fucking dude, but he was like a fucking savage, bro. Like he was not down with anybody else. Like. People would go towards my room and like he was aggressive, bro. Like showing his teeth.
We
growling.
Called him the devil dog.
Yeah,
like,
you guys.
Why do you have this devil dog in this fucking kennel, dude?
He's my dog.
Psycho.
He's cool.
Listen, I love dogs. No. I'm a dog person. You know that. You have a dog now. I have dogs. Like I have no problem with dogs.
Right, but it's important to like start this story with that conversation real quick because of how everything unfolds. Well, either way, I'm at home by myself one night, just chilling. And which is not very common too. There was usually at least somebody home.
Yeah, because there was always
at all times. Like we were just
either
we were home or
friends,
we weren't.
Motorcycles,
we were usually out,
trucks, whatever.
So I'm just sitting there, and then I get a knock on the fucking front door, and I'm like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" Like I don't know who the fuck.
How many guys
are?
It
was just 2 of them. So it was two guys, and I open the door, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" They're all fucking, they're looking for somebody that wasn't there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, dude, that dude's not here. And he's like, well, he fucking took some shit from me and it's in your house. I'm like, no, dude, it's not. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It's
you're
not.
At the wrong house.
Yeah, you're at the wrong house. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen you before in my life. And then I'm like, whatever. So it comes to a point.
I don't want to cut you off for the whole story, but we were right there on the corner.
Yeah.
We're fucking right there, smack dab. We're like, even when people were leaving the bars, they're
walking high traffic area, always.
High traffic because we were right there on the corner of
we were on
5th Street and what?
Ash.
Okay.
Yeah, we were right there.
Just to paint the picture.
But I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know who the hell you guys are. Like, definitely your bike is like, they were looking for a bike. They thought like a bicycle. Like a bicycle. Yeah, I'm like, dude, your bike is not in here, bro. Like that person did not take your bike. That person doesn't even live here.
Yeah.
I know I didn't say it, but I was like, I know who that person is. But no, dude, it's not, And so I go to shut the door, and they like forcefully enter the house because they think that I have
Was
the
it
bike
like,
in here.
was it like the foot move or just like the
Yeah,
door
it was like
move?
the foot move,
both,
you know,
like,
the foot move, put the foot, you know, as
Yeah.
I'm about to shut it. And I'm like, all right, you know, like I'm not, you know, I got two guys, whatever. I don't know. Like I'm not armed at this point.
Yeah.
Like I have, you know, I
we had
carry
weapons
now.
in the house.
Yeah, but I didn't at that time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I was late to the game with all that.
Yeah.
But when these guys come in, I'm like, all right, dude. And then like they think that it's in your room, and I'm like, no, dude,
Yeah.
it's not in there. Door's locked. They kicked
And
your
I had a
door in.
deadbolt.
They
I only had a deadbolt on
So,
my door.
yeah.
I didn't have like another because it's
So your shit was,
yeah,
you would lock your shit every time you would go, right? So they
this
kick your
motherfucker
door in,
kicks my fucking
and
door
then
open.
lo and behold, no bike, and
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm like, I told you, motherfuckers, like
Yeah.
what? Like get the fuck out of my
Yeah.
house.
And you're like, do you realize you just kicked this motherfucker's door open?
Yeah, you
like
kicked the
you're
wrong
like,
fucking door in right now, right? But the whole thing that comes with that is like Duke's in the house the whole fucking time.
yeah.
What? Always getting crazy on motherfuckers,
Yeah,
but the
trying to
time
kill
that,
people
the time
and,
that
like,
fucking
bite
somebody
people's
actually
heads
comes
off.
in the house and he needs to fucking,
Yeah.
you know,
He
guard
reminds
up.
me of one of those
Nothing.
dogs. Like
I
it
think
would be
maybe
the
I
dog
had my
that-
door shut or something, but
Yeah, maybe. But when I think of Duke, he reminds me of some of those dogs when I've listened
R.I.P.
to certain podcasts. Yeah, RIP for sure. But some of those dogs that were like fucking. Not saying these are totally.
I mean, he was
different.
straight Cujo. Like he was
He's
fucking,
crazy.
he was scary, bro. Like it
He's
wasn't.
great.
Like,
Yeah,
to
like
me,
he's
he
gonna go
wasn't,
for
but-
someone's throat. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
no,
that
I mean that
dog's
was
fucking
like that was
crazy.
no. It was crazy enough. One morning, he
I
got
mean, how
crazy
many
with
bodies
me.
did he have?
Oh, he bit a bunch of motherfuckers. He bit Tom. He fucking nipped at your little cousin's fucking heels because she was running around the fucking pool when we lived at the other house.
Yeah.
You know, like he was savage, dude.
You know, but not like little bites. Like.
I mean, yes. I don't even know because I was never there for any of it. Too.
He was
That's the
dangerous.
thing.
He just knew he was
dangerous.
at the right house. He's got to stay dangerous.
No, and that's the thing,
but
dude.
he
And
left
that's
you
what.
hanging, and then what happened?
Well, and then eventually they saw that it wasn't there and they just left.
Yeah.
So like, luckily, nothing crazy other than that
Yeah,
happened from it. But
Yeah,
that was a wild fucking time.
that was wild.
That
I
was
remember
like
when
a scary one, and then the other time someone came in the house, it was just some drunk motherfucker like
Yeah.
fucking stumbled
But
in and
after
thought
that,
he was at
before
his
you
friend's
go there,
house. Goes to the
cop,
oven.
when we talked to the cops about that, because there was a report that was going on because of who was involved, right? The cops showed up like, hey, what happened? You know, the fucking X, Y, and Z, you know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I know you didn't call the cops. That's not what I'm saying. But it was like a situation, right? And the cop told this dude and me and Jaybird, too, because we were all fucking armed. Like, you know what I mean? There was Harleys parked out front. We all had pistols and shit.
I
It
don't know
was
what
like,
you're
dude,
thinking.
if you would have kicked that fucking door open maybe a couple hours later, like, these guys could
been
have
the wrong
fucking
move.
dropped your ass in here and we would just drag you out of here and,
Yeah.
and they're good. Like, who the fuck kicks someone's door open like that?
Right? Over a bicycle, too?
Yeah. Fucking
bicycle.
Weird. Weird, strange shit. But that house, that's the kind of shit that went down at the house. It wasn't
man.
always bad. There was a lot of good times. There was a lot of times we were up on the roof eating all kinds of shrooms and fucking just.
I'll go over there and
You
do that
know,
right now.
One time my
Let's
mom
do it.
showed up. One time my mom showed up looking for me. She's like, Thaddeus.
You're all up on the
Thaddeus.
roof, like, peering
Yeah, I look
over,
down.
like, he's not here.
Hey, mom. So what are you doing on the roof? I'm like, I just ate a bunch of shrooms. We're up here.
His
looking at the
physical form is
stars."
here, but his mind is not
Yeah.
present.
All right, she's like, all right, mijo, I'll be back later. You know?
Oh, my God,
That was
dude.
fucking crazy times there,
I
too.
loved it over there.
But nothing crazier than fucking Jaybird shit over there. You got to tell one more of those stories, though.
What story?
Fucking one of the ones. You know?
One of the ones, dude. One of them.
Oh, I'm
I
trying to
don't
think
know.
of which one.
Maybe let's fucking have his ass on here.
We do need to have him on here.
before I just air his ass out.
Yeah.
Without him being here.
Yeah.
Because you know he'll fucking be.
Oh,
like,
you know
"Fuck
what's a
you
good
guys,
one?
I'll fucking tell
Hey,
the story.
you know what
guys
would be
are
a good
idiots."
one though? Yeah, he can tell that one about his ass. You know that
Yeah.
we'll get into that one. But
Right.
you know what was another good little one that I was thinking about the other day? Is we had fucking at any time multiple Harleys parked in the driveway, and then there was nowhere to park around there when people were going out. So sometimes random people would just like park in our front yard.
Yeah.
Like it was a fucking parking lot. So some guy parked his BMW or whatever in our front yard.
Well, people used to people would hit us up and like there would be ASU games or whatever, 4th
Yeah,
of
yeah,
July.
yeah.
Be like, hey man, can
And
I
that
just
was
park?
cool.
We're like, yeah, you could do that. But then somebody
Somebody
I think it was
just-
one of those. It was either 4th of July or like some sort of.
Somebody
ASU
did it
game
on their
where they,
own
like,
and
saw
decided-
stuff there and thought that it was just like free game. We're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
bro?
you're like, yeah, you parked
no?
in the wrong front yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that night we partied pretty fucking hard. But when the guy showed up the next morning, I don't know, maybe around 11, and his whole fucking car was covered in dirt.
Oh yeah,
Because we
fucking
took
shoveling.
shovels that night and we fucking just fucking covered his whole car in dirt. Like Wrong parking spot, motherfucker.
Hey,
you know
man.
what I mean? He was tripped out when he showed
Like, I don't know
up,
where this dirt came from, but you gotta move this BMW right
But
now.
remember Chris Ray? Remember Chris Ray that night? Were you there that night?
We
got
to
to tell that one. We got to tell that
story. That's a good one with Chris and Jaybird. All right,
yeah,
so
because I was in the room.
So you weren't there.
I was
though.
there, dude. I was in the room.
Wait, what are you talking about? The night that he and
Chris Ray, the whole
Chris
fight?
and Jaybird and I were riding our bikes and we got into that
in the fight in the front yard.
Oh no! I was talking about a different time then.
Which one?
There was a time.
Tell that one first, and then I'll finish.
So there was a time
off.
that you weren't there, and it was Chris and Jaybird and I. And that was when, like, Tom had brought over that long out, fucking stretched out beach cruiser that was, like, pink. It was, like, a lowrider fucking beach cruiser. And we just had bikes at that time.
Are you sure I wasn't there? Because I remember running out of my room hearing all this yelling, and I was in my boxers and I came out in the street
this happened,
we were fighting.
Well, no, this happened, like, across the railroad tracks.
Okay,
like,
so this
was a different
spot.
time. For
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
this was
yeah.
a different time.
And we got to have Chris and Scott on here, too, because they just opened their bar, Cat Wagon, which is fucking a badass bar.
Yeah, no,
that
we'll
everyone
have
needs
them
to
on.
check out.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
we'll have them on, like, and spread the message on that.
But also, it's cool they're talking about those bikes because it actually reminded me of that fucking little. What was the name of that fucking bicycle club that you were about to start back in the day? Remember? He was like the little fucking. We had the stickers and shit. Fender benders. See?
Fender
Remember that
benders.
shit?
Oh, when we were rolling our little bicycles.
We all had our little fucking beach cruisers
That
and
was
shit
cool.
at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
We should
yeah.
bring that shit back for sure.
Because we were always
There was
doing our
t-shirts and
cruise
stickers
shit.
too.
You know what I mean? No matter what it was about, it was always
Yep.
about like our crew.
So this was
You know?
back in the fender bender days, right?
Yeah.
And it was just
I
Chris Ray.
totally fucking forgot about that.
Dude,
That's
me too.
crazy.
That's fucking sick. They were talking
Yeah.
about this story and brought that up. But it was Chris, Jaybird, and I, and we were decided to just ride our bikes, right? And so we're not far from the house. Like we're literally like 3 blocks from the house, about to just ride to Mill and just hang out, just
Yeah.
ride our bikes around, talk shit, whatever.
Because
have
we would
fun.
never drive down the right, would we? We can walk
And we
down
were just
there.
riding our bikes, and like there was this group of like 3 fucking frat guys or whatever.
Yeah.
And this dude just
faded.
across the street for no fucking reason, just like, oh, what's up, faggots? Or said some dumb shit, and we all stopped, and we were like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Like,
what
what's,
happened?
Yeah. And then they come over and talk, thinking they're fucking hot shit, like they're
Yeah.
gonna do something. And then fucking Chris and Jaybird both just start fucking going in. Fucking Jaybird gets off his bike
Yeah.
and fucking picks his bike up and fucking hurls his bike at this guy. At this point, these guys lost the fight.
I wish we
right
had
there,
video
bro.
of this shit,
right
dude,
there, they
'cause this
lost
shit
the
is
fucking
real
fight,
life.
dog, because they thought they were talking shit to just some motherfuckers. They're gonna be like,
And Chris is a scrapper too.
and these
Like, he
guys
did not
got
fuck
their
around.
shit fucking worked,
Handed
bro.
to
Like
him,
we
yeah.
didn't fucking like we didn't
Yeah,
fuck
you
him
didn't
up.
beat
Like
him
we
to
weren't
death.
we didn't fucking put him in the
Maybe
hospital
one
or
of them's
anything. But
buried
like
in the backyard over there on Fifth
basically,
Street,
it's like
but-
we handled the situation. They thought
Yeah.
that they were approaching some motherfuckers that they could
Yeah.
fuck with, and they were
Again,
wrong. Big
Another
time.
lesson out there for social media is just like you don't go around starting
No,
shit
and
with
then-
people for no reason.
And then that's the other thing
gonna
too
get
is
your
like
shit
at
handed
once
to you
once
one way or
shit like
another.
once I was pulling dudes off, everything was
Yeah.
fucking it was whatever. I mean it was a brawl. Like
Yeah.
there was fucking 6 people fighting.
Yeah.
That's it's fucking chaos,
Yeah.
right? So once everything kind of fucking calms down and we're like obviously
Everyone's getting out
the
of breath a
cooler
little
heads,
bit.
we were the cooler heads in the situation the whole time.
Yeah.
So once that they realized that they were fucking with the wrong people, and then they also realized that we were like, all right, like fucking we didn't want to fight in the first place.
You guys are like,
we
"You
just
done?
had to
Are you
fit. Yeah, are
fucking
you done? Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the dude was like, fuck, I'm sorry. Like my
Yeah.
dad passed and this and that. And he was
Wouldn't
saying
give
this
a
to
fuck.
Jaybird, and Jaybird like, you're fucking telling me, bro, my
Yeah,
fucking
my
dad
dad's
died in
dead too.
a
Like, what's the
motorcycle
problem?
accident way long ago. It was like, doesn't give you the right to go around calling people faggots out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know, bro, you're right. And so it's just like, but that was one of the craziest fucking stories too. It's like,
Yeah.
fucking dude picked up a bike and threw it at this motherfucker. The funniest shit, like.
Were you there that night though, in front of the house when Chris and Jeremy were out there?
I don't think
I
I must
ran
not
out
have
in the
been.
street in
I mean,
my
I forget a lot
boxers.
of things, but I don't remember that.
You might have been there. You might have been up in the room with some girl or something.
I mean, probably.
Maybe one of those nights you were in there with like 3 chicks or something.
Oh,
but,
hell.
But no, all I hear is yelling, right? Fucking yelling, dude. I'm in my room. I'm in my boxers and shit, whatever, doing my thing. Hear fucking yelling. It's super late. I come out. I hear Chris and Jeremy. And they could probably
crap, bro.
They will tell the story a lot better next time when we get these guys here.
Oh yeah.
But they were outside, out front, because we would have fires in the front yard too.
Oh yeah, we would
and we
hang
always
out
had
in the
this
front
sign
more than
burning.
we would hang out in
The
the back.
sign was
This
always on, so people would walk up too, like
People
okay.
would think that it was like an after hours bar or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like
And
they
we had a bar
legitimately-
in our
because
front
we were
room.
we were the front. We did.
We had a fucking
We
bar.
were like once you left Mill on
Yeah.
5th Street and crossed the railroad
Yeah.
tracks, we were
We were
the
an after
first
party
house
with the
on
bar.
that side of the
Yeah.
road. And like
And
it
a
was
fire.
we were sandwiched between 2 like condos.
Yes.
And so we were this weird little standalone thing, and it had that sign in there, and they saw the bar, so they thought that it was like...
Yeah, it's not a standard place. Like, you see the sign, you see a bar,
we always see everybody hanging out front. Like,
motorcycles, we had a fire pit at that time of year.
So over the years, like, because that's what it was, is like, that's what we would do. We would watch everybody go to the bars.
Yeah.
And then we would be at home drinking, and then we would go meet up with everybody that was either the bouncers or the bartenders, because that was back when you were working in Scottsdale.
Yeah,
Brad was working at fucking in Tempe. Like we knew we were hosting.
We knew everybody
here
everywhere.
And there.
We were hosting parties and getting paid
Firehouse
to go to
was
these
still
bars.
there.
Yeah.
So it was like we would do that, and then we would watch everybody go, and then we would fucking go out ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we would come back at the end of the night and be there again, and then all those people that were walking by are now coming back and still seeing us there. So like, what the fuck is going on? Which was a dope point
too, because we would go to these. We would spend a lot of time in Tempe.
They would see us out.
But when we went out to Scottsdale and started doing some of the stuff out there, and they had all of our absurd shit on
branded
all of
everywhere
their TVs,
on the TVs and stuff,
on everything. It was like we're like rolling up, like, what the fuck? This is crazy, but we'll take it. Like,
fucking A.
All branding, you know what I mean? They paid us to be there. They took care of our tabs. We partied, we did our thing. But jumping back to that that other little short story, I came out in my boxers, and all I see is fucking Jaybird and Chris. There was this one dude, too. He was jacked. You could tell he was fucking jacked up on some tests. And he was like, you know what I mean? He was just doing his thing. And again, drunk with one of his buddies. And started running his mouth to Chris. And Chris was on his bike. He's a badass BMXer. So he's out there fucking around, doing a couple of tricks and shit, doing his thing, you know. In the front yard, we were fucking around. And he started running his mouth to Chris. Chris just hopped off his bike and fucking just knocked him out.
Yep.
Boom. Drop this motherfucker. Jeremy's like, your friend's a fucking idiot, dude. Fuck. Like, you guys want something next? Like, oh, we're sorry again. And they left, you know what I mean? But I just remember hearing a bunch of yelling and shit. It was probably Jeremy, like, fucking talking shit wild to this dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a pretty fucking funny story.
Fucking times.
Wild shit that went down there.
Well, shit, man. Let's fucking let's bring this to like a little climax.
But yeah, we
here.
need
Let's
to
talk
get
about
everybody, like the different people that came through.
Yeah,
we even did some interviews there with Del Ray too. He might be able to dig up some of that footage.
Right here, Death West, man.
Exactly.
Supporting the homies, and that's what it's all about.
He was filming then too, and coming through and like documenting stuff. So we're start digging into some of the photos.
We're always here to like support
bring back
the people that supported us, and like that's another thing, dude. It's like it's a family.
We did have
unit,
a lot of
man.
support
like,
back then.
We still do. Yeah, of course we do.
We just been laying low, focusing on the right things, so we can,
And it's always been that way. Man. We've always supported like what the homies are doing. Like if I'm gonna go spend my money on something, I don't want something that like 50 other dudes are gonna have out there. I want to go buy what my homie has that people are gonna be like, ask me like, oh damn, that's tight. What is that? Instead of seeing like, oh, you got some, enter brand name here shirt, and people are gonna be like, oh, he's got that, cool. That's never. No one's ever gonna start a conversation. Really, I mean,
I get it. It's
just rad to like support the homies and everything like that. Because I mean, right here, Sweet Pickle hat, fucking Death West shirt, it's just the homies, So there's a lot of people that we're gonna bring in here that have all.
Dude,
the
and there's so many other things too. Like we're talking about like the absurd houses, but all the events that we did at different locations.
All the Pray for Snows that we did.
Pray for the snowboarding stuff.
The monthly absurd nights that we had over at Firehouse.
Yeah, so much stuff to get into.
Everything.
Different content. Yeah. It'd be cool.
And then that's the thing too, is like you and I can sit down and talk about this stuff all day,
homies too.
And those guys will have all the stories about all of those things. You know. Everyone had their
own.
They'll
clear up a little bit more too, because
that was what was cool about the stuff that we did then too. Is like we would all go out as a fucking unit, and then we would sit down and party. But then like throughout the night, we would kind of like spread our tentacles out, and everybody would kind of go their own way, and then we would all end up meeting up at the end of the night. So there's so many stories of like dudes that like we were all out together that night, but like 3 of the homies have a completely different experience and story from that night than you and I did when we were hanging out over here, and those guys were doing their thing over there. Like
a good one to finish this off, to finish this conversation off. Because what time is it right now?
It's like almost 2:00.
Okay. Yeah.
1:50.
So a good one to finish this one off, right? Because we have a lot that we got. In the
we were supposed to be on here for 15 minutes, and we're like running into an hour right now.
So we're almost done. We're almost done, but. A good one was one more good one, and then we'll have to have Jaybird on for this one too. We'll fucking deal with that one.
We'll get him in here.
But remember the fucking CVS?
Oh my god, dude! Oh man, that dude just talking shit out front of the CVS, dude. I mean, that was late night too.
That was late night. Yeah. So it was one of the nights we were being paid to party. So we had a
You
table.
and I were in CVS.
No.
He was
but
outside,
before
right?
we went to CVS, I'm saying we were at the bar,
Yeah.
at Firehouse or whatever.
Yep.
Was that the same night that we had? Was like Devin Raper there? Was it the motocross stuff?
It might have been
Yellow
that.
Wolf?
No, it wasn't Yellow Wolf because we wouldn't have
Okay.
been over there for that. But
Okay.
there, I
No,
mean, I have that
Yellow
photo.
Wolf. We were there.
No, I'm talking about we wouldn't have been at CVS,
with the
for that.
for the
Like
Yellow
it was
Wolf
probably
stuff.
like
We were closing down.
We were closing down and probably getting some stuff to go ahead to fucking
Yeah, we're like,
Danny's.
hey, we're
Danny's
moving it
at
back.
West 6. We're like probably hitting.
Oh, we're gonna go to W6 with meat chips or something.
Before 2 to grab some drink.
Yeah.
And then head back to Danny's and
bring
hang
some
with the meat
females
chips, dude.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
But yes, continue. With
So
that,
then
dude.
we cross the street real quick. All right, like we're gonna go over there get our supply.
Right.
Supply and demand. So we go in there. I send Jaybird in there real quick. I'm outside smoking or whatever, you know what I mean? And I give him some cash. Hey, go grab a 30 pack or whatever. He's standing in line and he's like next up in line, some girls in front of him, and like these 3 Indian dudes just like walk in front of him and just like cut him.
Yeah.
Like disrespectful. Kind of like fuck you. Like
Don't do that.
you know what I mean? And I'm like watching from outside and I'm like, okay, like these guys fucking are just being total dicks, you know what I mean? And I told Jaybird, I said, don't worry about it. Just wait till they come out here. Just do your thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because you could see he was kind of mad about it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as these guys started stepping out there, dude, it was on. I fucked all 3 of them up. You know what I mean? And Jaybird was still paying by the
I'm
time
just
he got
standing
out
there
there.
like, fuck, dude, I hope I don't get arrested.
By
for
the
this
time he
shit.
got out there, one had a bottle of vodka. I fucking hit him. He dropped that. Boom, that shattered. There was a girl with him. The second
get in the
one,
car. Let's
yeah,
get
the
out of
second
here.
one lined up like he was gonna box me. You know
And
what
then
I
he was
mean?
like, no.
Fucking dropped him. The other one I had against the window, and then the girls that were with them were like, "You guys need how to learn how to fucking fight. This guy's out here whooping your ass. Like, can one of you get a fucking punch in?" And then Jaybird comes out. And the CVS employees are like, "We're calling the cops."
You're like,
and
"We're
Jaybird had a
leaving."
30 pack. I'm like, "We gotta fucking go."
Yeah.
So we booked it back to our spot, which wasn't very far.
No,
and
not
then we
at
ate
all.
like a whole giant bag of mushrooms, and we had a fucking incredible night. We never went to sleep. We were at
remember that.
Denny's at 5 in the morning riding Harleys.
Denny's.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that was
Love
a good
that
one.
shit.
We'll close out with that banger.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just a
Love that.
taste. That's a motherfucking taste.
Stay tuned. Good. All right, bro. Well, cheers to that, dude.
Yeah.